Alright, welcome to period 3. This is my cover. Sorry I'm not with you. Your title, Subtracting Decimals. Let's get that down. And we've got a starter for you as well. If you can't read them, number 1, 7.2, add 8.9. Number 2, 6.24, add 12.7. And number 3, 0.12, add 4. Alright, so just like we did last lesson, just a little warm up. I'll give you a sec to do them. If you just pause the screen for me, that'd be great. Alright, let's go through the answers then. Hopefully that worked and you did actually pause me. So, answers. We got 7.2 add 8.9. Remember, we talked about putting the decimal in the same place. 7.2, 8.9, decimal in the same place. 2 and 9, 11, carry the 1. I know some of you put it in a different place. And then 7 add 8, 15, add the 1. 16.1 for the first one. Second one, 6.24 and 12.7. 6.24, 12.7. We talked about adding a 0. Hopefully some people have done that. So we can put zeros in where there's gaps. So 4 add 0. 2 add 7. Put your decimal in, make sure it's in line. 6 and 2. And then 0 and 1. So 18.94 for number 2. And number 3, similar to one of the questions yesterday, 0.12 add 4. So I'm going to go 0.12. And when we talked about the number 4, a whole number, the decimal went after it. So 4.0. I'm going to put the zeros in, makes it a bit easier. So 0.12. So that one just works out at 2, 1, decimal, 4.12. So hopefully we got those 3 right. So we're going to move on to subtraction. A little bit more difficult. A lot of people aren't fans, but hopefully we'll be okay. We'll be okay today, hopefully. We're going to look at money first. We'll do a bit of taking away. So let's say I had £9 and 60 pence. Alright, and I'm going to take away, let's go with £3 and 40 pence. So this one's not too bad. Hopefully you'll see why. So we start the same side. 0 take away 0, 0. 6 take away 4, 2. Decimal has to go in. And 9 take away 3, 6. Don't forget units, which is pounds. And in that case, £6.20. So there's no issues there. If you want to pause me just for a second, allow them to get that down for example 1. Okay. Example 2, hello. Example 2, we're going to make it a little bit trickier, only a little bit. I'm going to say £7.14 and I'm going to take away £2.55. Right. Now remember, it's the top number, take away the bottom number. 4 take away 5. Can't do. Top number is smaller than the number underneath. So if that's smaller than this number, we have to do borrowing, although technically you never give it back, so you're stealing, right? But it's borrowing. So we look across to the next one. If there's one we can take from there, which there is, the 1 becomes 0. I'm going to take that 1, move it across, becomes 14. 14 take away 5, we can now do is 9. We've now got 0 take away 5. We can't do that, so we go across again. We can take 1 from there, that's going to become 6. It was 7, it's now 6. We put the 1 across to the next one, so that becomes 10 now, because it's 0, now it's become 10. 10 take away 5 is 5. Put your decimal in. 6 take away 2 is 4. £4.59. So if you need a second just to copy that example down, or ask any questions, see what we do. But if you want to pause it, just to get that written down, feel free to pause me. Alright, the final example I'm going to give you is, let's say you walked into a shop with £10 and you go and spend £4.27. So I'm going to take away £4.27. Notice I'm putting my decimal in the same place, alright? Decimal, same place, even with the column method, adding and subtracting. So I've gone in with £10, I've spent £4.27. So I want to know how much change I'm going to get. Well, I'm going to put my 0 in the gap, just to make life a little bit easier. 0 take away 7, can't do, alright? That number is much smaller than that, can't do. I can't borrow from there, and I can't borrow from there. So I have to go all the way, and this is where it gets a little bit confusing. I take the 1 becomes 0, that becomes 10, because you only move it along 1. But I still can't do anything with that. So I cross out the 10, that becomes 9, that becomes 10. But it still doesn't help. So now I cross that out, that becomes 9, that becomes 10. And now we can deal with it. So 10 take away 7 is 3. 9 take away 2 is 7. Decimal point goes in, don't forget your decimal. 9 take away 4 is 5. 0 take away 0, 0. So I'm just going to put in the pound sign. So £5.73. Again, if you just want to pause me and just have a look through that, or if you need to rewind just to go through that again, feel free. But there's the third example. So feel free to pause. Alright, what you're going to do now, you're going to look at this book. Alright, the book we've been using quite a bit of. You're going to turn to page 34. And you're going to do exercise 3D. Alright, you're going to answer all of those questions on question 1 and question 2. So this little section here. So exercise 3D, questions 1 and 2. I do want all your working out shown. In this column method, please. Alright? And if you'd just like to pause me while that's happening, or just get rid of me, that's fine. But if you just want to pause me, and then I'll let you know where the answers are. So teacher, whoever's covering, you can go through the answers with them. So if you just pause me for a sec, and I'll let you know where the answers are. Alright, so the answers, you need to go to the back of the book. And if we go there, so 3D, so page 311, and the answers are there on exercise 3D. So please, can you get that marked using the green pens, and can they correct any answers at the end of the lesson? Alright, cheers for that, and I'll see you next lesson.